What's up guys, Darkstorm K here, and welcome to Darkstorm Pro Wrestling. This will actually be the first video I use with a mic to talk with you guys. I had just bought one along with a new laptop just a couple days ago. Before then, I was just using my iPhone to record from the footage, also making the logos off of my phone, and posting them through the communities to put together some of my wrestlers and arenas together. Now that I got a laptop, I'm learning how to use some of the video editing software on here and the screen recording to make my videos from here on out. If you're somebody that look forward to the videos I put out and notice any delays in the posting that I'm doing, then I apologize, because I'm transitioning from using an iPhone to using an HP laptop, and I'm still trying to put things together and figuring out how to improve my content. Speaking of improving content, that's also part of the reason why I'm making this video here. The match here is in quick play right now. This video is not in the universe mode. I just put this together for some background stuff for y'all to look at. Well, to start things off, gaming has been a huge part of my childhood, mainly from fighting games. So if my channel evolves into something different, then you'll most likely end up seeing more fighting games. Probably, you know, Mortal Kombat or Tekken or something like that. But believe it or not, this is actually the first WWE game I have played since it went under 2K Sports. The last WWE game I ever touched was WWE 13 with CM Punk on the cover. I was always in love with the creation suite in the WWE games because you can pretty much create anything that you put your mind to. In the past WWE games, my goal was always to create myself and basically live like a real WWE superstar along with the other wrestlers within the game. And this started like since I was a kid, like around when SmackDown vs. Raw like first came out. No, SmackDown vs. Raw 2006. That's when I first started, you know, getting into creating my own players and started, you know, interacting with some of the other WWE superstars within, you know, their little career mode and whatnot. As I was getting older, I started noticing how advanced the creating could get in these WWE games. And then I ended up coming to YouTube and started seeing some of the crazy creations that people was been making ever since, you know, SmackDown vs. Raw 2007 and 2008 and even 09. That's when I really started noticing how crazy some of these creations could get. You can start creating like superheroes, the created Superman, Kratos, to even some of the actual existing wrestlers from other programs and stuff like that. So once I started noticing that, that's what really started increasing my love for the games as each new installment was coming out. Once WWE 13 came out, I was kind of a little exhausted from it, because I ain't gonna lie, like I was really playing them wrestling games all the way until I messed up the disc on them, you know. But by that time I was getting a little tired with WWE, and even in the real life WWE, like things was like in the middle of changing, and I started getting kind of fatigued. And then on top of that, none of my friends was really into it as much as I was at the time anymore, so I ended up kind of putting it away for a little while. That was up until near the ending of last year, beginning of this year, where I was beginning to start getting back into wrestling again when I had caught wind of a new wrestling program by the name of AEW was coming out, or it was already out by that time. By the time I had finally heard about it, and also seeing Chris Jericho on the promoting the thing, I was like, you know what, let me go ahead and take a look, because now this is like a breath of fresh air. You know, before then, the only thing that was on L was WWE. I don't know what done happened to TNA back then, but it was like once they done got moved off of Spike TV, it's like they done disappeared into thin air as far as I was concerned. You know, so to hear AEW was coming out, it was doing their thing, I was like, you know what, let me start going back into wrestling. As I started catching a couple of episodes on YouTube of watching AEW Dark, then I was like, you know what, I actually miss wrestling. So what I ended up doing was I ended up firing up my old PS3 with WWE 13, and I started playing it again, going through the universe mode in there with the group of creative people I had a few creative tag teams on there, all going up against actual WWE wrestlers. And as I was doing it, I started getting invested again, and I ended up realizing how much I don't miss doing this stuff, to the point where I was out here actually creating like new stages and stuff like that to actually work in. And that's when I actually started thinking about making my own little wrestling show within WWE. After a while, my disc had messed up. Well, not really my disc, but my PS3 actually done, you know, had its money's worth. I got my money's worth up out of it. So my game started messing up on so now I was like, you know what? Now it's about time for a new game. So that's when I ended up coming across 2K19. I was gonna get 2K20, but I ended up hearing how badly it was made and how many people was complaining about it. And everybody was like, you know, hey, if you're looking for a definitive wrestling game, then you still need to go to 2K19. Don't even spend your money on 2K20. So, you know, I was like, alright, shit, I'll go ahead and do that. I had just gotten 2K19 about 2 months ago. And when I first got it, I was going to make that my personal unofficial AEW game. When I see that you could download characters and stages. So at first, I had just AEW characters. I done had Cody Rhodes on here, Jon Moxley, Darby Allin, Nick Aldis, all them boys. But then when I started looking through the creation community a little bit more, and I started seeing even some original made people on there, and I started seeing how awesome some of them look, and I was like, you know what? I would like to see how some of these people wrestle, because it reminds me of when I used to make my own characters on past WWE games. Now, when I first had started the universe mode in WWE 2K19, all I had was about like 3 created people, which was Irvin Alexander, the one that you already saw previously, Carlos Dean, and also had myself as Dallas Ace O'Grady. Now, at first, I was going to control all 3 of them within the universe mode, but the controls was getting a little hard for me because it done been so long since I done played WWE. I didn't see that they had a limited amount of reversals and stuff like that, so I was like, I was still trying to figure out the game. So I was only playing literally as myself. And then when it comes to at least one of my other creative players, when they start wrestling, I'll at least go and just watch them to see how they was doing. And as I was watching how they wrestle and stuff like that, I ended up realizing how interesting it does look. Like watching them wrestle, it does remind me of how they actually wrestle on TV. Which is credit I do have to give the 2K Visual Concepts. At least one thing I can say about them is that they're real good at giving presentation. You know what I mean? They always have been good at presenting. You go tell that by the NBA 2K games. Already knew, like, once WWE had went to 2K, I already knew that it could turn into a great thing. I just know I need to give them some time because I know they're not familiar with the WWE license as well as THQ was with Ukes. But by me literally being away from WWE games for about like 6 or 7 years since its departure from THQ, I gotta say that I'm almost blown away by how much you could create on a game that's pretty much turned into a big drawing point for me. And boy, I was going crazy in community creations, especially when I see that you could upload images and stuff like that, so people could really make some real unique designs and stuff like that. I was up there downloading all types of unique people. You know, it's including the ones that you see now. The ones you see now, these are like some of the guys I had first started like downloading. I just kept going on and on from that point on. But then I was like, you know what? I could probably create my own logos too and actually make my wrestler feel even more like an actual wrestler opposed to how I was ever able to do it in some of the previous games. Now, as far as universe mode goes, I've been having this universe mode actually have been running for about 3 years within the game, and I've experienced a lot. I've witnessed a lot of the matches that went down in my universe mode. For the very first year, I actually have not ran no pay-per-views. You know, I was strictly making all my wrestlers wrestle off of our regular shows and stuff like that. Then in the following year, that's when I started implementing pay-per-views and stuff like that. So in a way, it's like as I was starting this wrestling program, I was also kind of building up, just like how you'll actually build up a business and stuff like that, to the point where I do feel invested. Even though this stuff is a game, it's also like a passion. You know what I mean? Like when I watch some of these wrestlers wrestle, one thing I can say is that they actually wrestle pretty good. Like you can actually sit and actually watch them wrestle. With some exceptions, you know, sometimes the computer they glitch a little bit, or sometimes they sit still. But for the most part, they actually put on some pretty good matches. And then I end up finding myself kind of watching it a little more than I am playing it, to the point where I'm good with only playing when one of my personal created wrestlers are wrestling. That probably might be the only time I might jump in. Other than that, I could really sit back and watch my universe mode like an actual show. I done already took time apart to actually put together some original pay-per-views, which I'm still kind of doing now. Actually, the arena that you're looking at now is called Beach Brawl. So this is kind of like my equivalent to SummerSlam. You know, instead of having SummerSlam, I have Beach Brawl, and it is themed out in Miami. That's where I'm from. I am from Miami, Florida. So that's why, if you notice a lot of my videos, the location of these arenas, they're going to be located around in Miami or at least some part of Florida. So I had enjoyed, you know, watching these matches play out so much to the point where I do want to share some of these things with you guys, and hopefully you guys feel the same way how I feel when I be watching these videos. But I know for some viewers who probably never had a WWE 2K game or probably is looking something different, I already know there are some existing guys who's already doing shows like this. Shout outs to Lee Boy TV, shout outs to Dre 41 Gaming. They actually do some pretty good jobs on their wrestling shows. They are very interesting. They got their own unique storylines and all. And them two guys actually inspired me to actually want to do more with my wrestling show. Because at first, when I first was doing this, I was just going to let the videos play out and just tell you the lineup and just let it play out for itself. But once I started noticing some of the imperfections that are in the 2K games, like as far as them narrating the story and even the commentators, sometimes the things that they say either get so repetitive and inaccurate, and even a little bit when you run your universe mode and you check the news. So I end up realizing as I'm doing this, I gotta play a part in to help explain what's going on so you guys see it the way how I do, you know. And I know that will be something that'll get you guys really into it. So that's what I'm working on now. So I was thinking, you know, hey, if I actually treat my show like an actual show and even give these wrestlers some history, some insight for you guys to learn more about them, maybe you guys will be just as invested as I am. So I'm trying to come up with ways to make it more interesting, and at the same time trying to remove the WWE names as much as possible. Even though this is a WWE game, I want it to feel like something completely different, like a completely different type of wrestling show. So I'm working hard to come up with even more logos and arenas and even new wrestlers. Try to make them as unique as possible, you know. At the same time, like, I try to get a little balance between uniqueness, coolness, and also a little bit of realism. You know, I still want these to look like, you know, some actual people, but at the same time, I also want to keep in mind this is a game, and in any game, you want to see some cool shit happen. So the only way how you could get some cool shit happen, first you gotta have some cool looking people. Am I right? Well, that's it about for me talking for this video. If there's any suggestions that you guys have while y'all watching my shows, feel free to go ahead and drop a comment and let me know exactly what you expect to see, or a lot more cooler to watch. You know, I really want you guys to enjoy these videos and these matches just as much as I do. I will be dropping videos later on in the future. Probably gonna do like some wrestlers history or something like that. Probably explain the history of the titles that I went through in this universe mode since I done made it. You know, even before I started posting on YouTube and stuff like that. Alright, so that's about it for me, you guys. Go ahead and let the rest of this match play out. Y'all go ahead and catch me later. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And I'll be keeping in touch with you guys later. It's DARKSTORM. Peace.
Kick to the gut. Not so fast. Death Valley bomb. Escapes trouble there. He's not looking like himself here, but we all know that he isn't afraid of a good fight, which is what we're seeing here. I know it's somewhat early still, but this could be a pivotal point in this match, guys. Let's see how he reacts here. And a failed fireman's carry.
When you've got your opponent up like that, you absolutely have to finish the deal.
Beautiful technique.
Oh boy, he is rolling.
Ooh, what impact. Oh, nasty impact.
Ooh, this one is over.
Not where he wants to be right now. Hey, he got himself into this mess.
He's got to get himself out of it now.
Ooh.
Oh boy, he is rolling. This is not the place where you want to underestimate your competition.
Absolutely not. He's not looking good here. And at this point, you have to wonder if he can recover from this. Don't write him off just yet, guys. From what I see, these guys are pretty evenly matched at this point. Slams him through the table!
But I don't know how much gas he has left, guys. That might be enough to put this match away.
He's not in a good spot here, guys. He simply needs to find a way to regroup.
Looks like trouble here, Byron.
I don't know. I guess that all depends on who you're rooting for. Are you kidding me?
Incredible.
He's looking a little off balance. I don't think this is how he envisioned this match going here tonight. Taken off his feet here.
And it's moves like that that make him so dangerous.
When this guy's on, look out.
Nailed it.
Lightning fast reflexes. He's looking at it. Goes down hard. Uh-oh!
Sizing him up.
In trouble! Doesn't even see it coming!
Oh, right to the side of the face. He might just win this thing right here.
I gotta tell you, these guys are in the best shape I've ever seen them in. This might be it!
Oh, my.
One kick. Uh-oh.
That's teamwork.
On the mark. He's left wide open here. I don't think he even realizes it. He looks dazed.
This is about to get bad.
Oh boy, he is rolling.
In WWE, there's as much chaos outside the ring as there is inside the ring.
Try working with Saxton at ringside. One kick. Uh-oh. Ring rattling. How much more punishment needs to be dished out? Just finish it! This is about as bad as it gets for him. He has got to fight back. He's in tough shape, guys, and there's absolutely no room for error now. Looks like he's starting to tire. His hopes of winning this match appear to be dwindling in a hurry. Man, I knew this was going to be a close one.
That'll do some serious damage.
This could be it, guys. Bad spot for him to be in here, guys.
He's got to do something to get back in this thing.
Oh, what a slam! Yes! Unreal performance. And here's another glance at these superstars in action. Highlight for one superstar, low light for another. He was on point the entire match, as you can see here.
Here is your winner, Tiger Death Bruiser.
And there's the last one standing. What a match. To be the last one standing after such a grueling encounter is beyond amazing, Michael. What a match here from Miami. Thanks to all of you for joining us tonight.